5-day high. So it's at 181.52. So it's pushing higher. Palantir already made a 5-day high at 160. So you got a couple stocks starting to come off the flat area. And then of course, if you look at the the general market right now, you're looking at a market that it's just hanging in there, I would say. Hanging in there is a good way to think about it. But anyway, I wanted to get in here. I like the Dow, relatively speaking, and so we're going to look at a Dow trade. Jonathan, are you going to move the slides? What we got going here?
We just have a few slides.
All right, let's look at it. Yep, I agree with that. Past performance is not indicative of future results. All right, here's a trade I want to do in the All-Stars. It's called a diamond. It's a call, BuzzFly. You buy to open to 457, you sell to 460, and you buy to 461. Your net debit's currently 90 to $1 with a target exit of $1.19. So, Jonathan, why don't you walk through the way you think about this trade? Jonathan can tell you, depending on the platform you use, and how easy it is to set up. Jonathan, why don't you take it over from here?
Okay, as soon as I get it sent to the T-Buzz All-Stars crew, I will show you how it's done. Okay, so on Tastytrade, what you're going to do is you're going to type in diamond from the trade tab, of course. Go to October 3rd expiration. And you're going to, the way I prefer to do it is you look down the ask column where the calls you buy versus the bid column, the calls you sell. First call on the board is you buy one of the 457. So I'm just going to left click on the asking price to load up buying a 457 call. Then got to sell a 460 once, and we actually have to sell two 460s, and I'll add the second 460 last. But for now, I'll click on buy the 461, and then I'll remember to go back and add another 460. The way you do that is you left click once to highlight the 460 row. Then you come down here and hit quantity, bump it up one. Now you got a 121. The other way you can do this on here is you can search your strategy builder for butterfly, long, switch it to a long call, hit go, and then you're going to have to do a little work. Drag the buy one up to 461, the sell two to 460, and the other buy one to the 457. And you might prefer to do it that way. Depends on how you like to build orders there. Now, Tastytrade, or Thinkorswim, excuse me. I'll take a swim. Same thing, head to the trade tab, type in diamond, find October 3rd. But here, a little bit easier to do the point and click method. You're going to leave your spread on single. Much preferred to leave your spread on single. And then you just hold down the control key on your keyboard before you do anything. Bottom left key of your keyboard, hold down the control key. And you can left click on the asking price for the 457 call once. Keep that control key held down. Left click on the bid price for the 460 call once and then a second time. And then left click on the asking price for the 461 call once. And you've got your 121 built down here. So that's how you do that. Let me share the trade again. This is a T-Buzz All-Stars trade. So if you're here for Train and Trade early, welcome in. This is a T-Buzz All-Stars trade. Gwen was filled at 90 cents. Thanks, Gwen. But my point is about the T-Buzz trade, if you're not in T-Buzz, you won't get any updates on it. So just keep that in mind. The quantity on Tasty Trade, Dave, is at the bottom on the trade ticket, top of the trade ticket. You'll see quantity button if you're on the actual Tasty Trade platform.
Any questions on how to set this trade up and the profit goals? By the way, Palantir is made a 5-day high, and NVIDIA makes a 5-day high if it goes above 182. It's at currently 181.66. Will you review for Carol? She said if we do 10 contracts, what does it look like? Well, number one, you're risking $900 if you do 10, Carol, at 90 cents net. If you do 10.
Yeah, I mean, if you're doing 10, I would just start out by left clicking on the 457 call and bumping the quantity up to 10 with the quantity button down here at the bottom. Then left click on the 460 call, and you can see that your quantity's already set for 10 contracts. It added -10 460 calls. I'm gonna go ahead and click on the 461 call to buy it. So now you got 10, 10, 10, and you still need to go back, highlight the 460 call, and start bumping the quantity up to -20. All right. That's your easiest way to do that, or from my experience. So again, call up the 457 call. It's currently one contract. Bump it up to 10. Now the system's going to automatically say you're trying to trade 10 contracts. You can left click on the 460 call. You can see it added -10. Add the 461 long call in. You got 10, 10, 10. Highlight the 460 call, bumped up to 20. Quantity button down here. Now you got a 10, 20, 10.
It's come up from 10 cents already, huh? Okay, that's good.
Sure has.
That's good.
And we're gonna stop the recording for T-Buzz Connect the Dots. And we're gonna go live.
One thing that we do on Power, I will do it any week, but there's always subject to pull back if the trend's in doubt. With what happened overnight and where we're trading right now, if we're above 75 on the S&P, I would have done Power. But we also got the NVIDIA news tomorrow after the close. You got to report Thursday and Friday. It's just when you're trying to do a 3 or 4 day trade like we do in power, we have found it's better to stand on the sidelines and wait the next week when it's when you don't have all those outside influences on the current trend. Plus, it's the first of the month too, which is usually a better time. I'd like to go back and look at our history, Jonathan, at some point and see how the first week of the month compares to the last week of the month. It'd be interesting to look at, from a percentage basis.
First week versus last week.
Yep.
The first week of the month versus the last week of the month. Yeah.
That'd be interesting to see. I mean, the record's off the charts right now, but we keep it that way because of our discipline and because when we don't have a decided trend on a day like today, we don't want to eat up half the day trying to figure out what the trend is. So we just pull back.
All right. It does look like YouTube's already going. Thanks, Adam. We are ready for training trade. August 26th.
All right, let's do it. Risk involved in trading, past performance is not indicative of future results. In my opinion, the market's going to end up higher, and we just got to wait for that surge to happen. When will it most likely occur? Probably a real, steamroller type trend will happen about after the 15th of September. Speaking of that, that is when my SPX program goes full steam. We did a nice live presentation today. People loved it. We're starting that beta test. We'll do another one on Thursday as we work our way to that September 15th kickoff. I think everybody learned a lot, don't you, Jonathan, from this morning?
Yeah, I think they definitely learned a lot. You should have learned a lot. It was a good setup. Great call by you. Look forward to the next one.
Well, one of the things about it, Jonathan, is that if I can get everybody to 70%, that'll be their Fort Knox of trading. You saw the numbers. If we get to 70% accuracy, that's what I'm trying to do, spend all this time teaching people how to read the market that time of day. That's worth a fortune to people. And so anyway, we'll just keep plugging and keep doing. Upcoming events, NVIDIA earnings after the close on Wednesday, Thursday GDP, Friday PC. Those are big announcements, all of it. Michael says, also teaching how to avoid day trades in a small account. Absolutely. I told you we'd teach you. Some of those, Michael, are going to turn into big trades if you have an overnight surge, and you wake up, things 20 points higher and you're going, golly, look at me. I mean, those are going to be huge to talk about to people that don't take the day trade. Not today, Michael, not today. We're not going to do XP today. I might consider doing it Thursday. I can't do it today. All trades and train a trade. We'll go into our T-Buzz talk and trade. My pivot number today, listen, I always like to ask you, how good a pivot number was that I gave you in train and trade this morning? How good? Did it keep you on the right side of the market? Does everybody know what the pivot number was? We'll go check it out. Jonathan, go to a chart and show him where that pivot and how valuable that is to have it for your trading. I put it on the line every day with you on that pivot number, folks. He's going to draw the pivot and show it to you, just how it kept you literally on the right side of history. The low of RB3, the 930 cash, was 64.44. Guess where our pivot number was? 64.45. I'd say that was a perfect pivot for today. Isn't it nice to play from the right side of the ballpark? And that's what I try to do with my pivot number every day. Okay, back to our slides. All right, Jonathan, this is your section. Why don't you cover this?
Okay, we'll get it updated. Let's see what we got here. I updated it real early this morning. Not real early, but early enough. Right before the closing bell and early opening bell. Get it updated again. For brand new to train and trade, the way this works, we have a process called the first 3 days process to start each month. And basically, if the stock is above its monthly open, and we'll look at the S&P as an example, S&P opened up 63.59 for the month of August. During the first 3 trade days of the month, it made a high of 63.77. Ever since we've been above that, the S&P has been pointing higher, and it's up here at 64.57. So at the very least, if you're following this process on your own, or you're looking at the sheet and you see long, at the very least, you shouldn't be trying to short the market. That's your first step. Next step is go and find stocks to trade if you're looking to trade stocks. So let's go through these. S&P and NASDAQ are both above their first 3 days still. Crude oil is still short. If you recall yesterday, we pointed that out, how crude oil for the week yesterday was having a little retracement rally. And look what it's done today. We said, be careful. It's still short for the month. It's just a little retracement rally. There's a picture of crude today. Back down to 63.31. This is all real important information as you go through the month. It's following a process keeps you disciplined is the goal here. Let's see. You should be able to see the spreadsheet once again. Yep. Let's go through a couple stocks. NVIDIA, of course, got earnings after the close.
Notice the 3-day high is 180. Notice the 5-day high is 81.92. And we're trading 81.18 right now. So we're pushing the highs of NVIDIA.
Yep. And that after the close is tomorrow on the earnings for NVIDIA. Apple, Amazon, long. A little bit mixed though, tech-wise. We got AMD, Oracle, and Microsoft below their first 3 days low for the month. So
that means if they're below that, you would be thinking about bearish calls, selling call spreads. Always a way to make money if you got the right strategy in line with what you're trying to do.
we'll jump down to see Tesla and Berkshire are long above their first 3 days high. Tesla's very strong. Current price 346. Its first 3 days high was down at 312. Palantir, for a monthly setup, you can see how it's behaved here. We got to wait till next month for a new monthly setup on Palantir. There's your hood stock, Tom. Bitcoin a little weak, excuse me. Archer Daniel Midlands, I know you've been talking about trading that one here soon, Tom. Watching it for a possible trade.
Let me ask you a question. Should I be long or short Archer Daniel Midland?
You certainly should not be short. Reddit, QQQ, SPY, XSP all along. And then Tom's down here at the bottom are these weekly dividend payers that we watch here. That, of course,
Look at Tesla.
YW
Tesla came back to being a payer, didn't it, on the weeklies?
Yeah, and Tesla, the official stock, the main stock is long, so the weekly payer should be long too. It's good to see it's long. YETH is Ethereum based, I believe, and COIW is coin based. Weekly payers. This is a good sheet. Of course, we're winding down the end of the month. This is the last month or week of the month. Friday is the last trade day of the month. And next month, a little bit unusual start to the month with Labor Day, but we'll have by the time we get to Friday and Friday's weekly wrap up, we'll have the first 3 days for September. And we'll be able to post a new spreadsheet for September's month at that point in time. Let me post the slide deck. The spreadsheet is on slide number 8. Slide number 8, Bob. Once you go to the slides, go to slide number 8 and you can find the spreadsheet.
Bob's asking how to get the spreadsheet.
Yep, just let Bob know how to do that. So we can actually move on now, Tom. Today's focus.
All right, why did I designate every Tuesday as a trade day, and the 5 reasons it works? Tracking Monday's open, high, and low provides an early indication of which stocks are likely to trend for the week. Example, Palantir. By waiting until Tuesday, the market has a tendency to reestablish a trend that typically lasts through Friday. In other words, you sometimes get a correction from Thursday, Friday to Monday, and a stock that's been bullish, maybe been out of last week, corrected, and has turned back bullish, okay? And so that's why Tuesday becomes important for a trade day. All right, Jonathan, we're going to turn the slides. If the current price is at the top end of Monday's range, top third, is easier to follow the path of least resistance. For example, Jonathan, reach over and show Palantir today, just as these, or NVIDIA. Showing NVIDIA is a better example. Showing NVIDIA versus Monday's range. Put a daily up there and showing what I'm talking about.
Right, daily chart of NVIDIA. I'm gonna mark Monday's high and low with a couple orange lines here. There's the high. There's the low from this candle right here. NVIDIA's pressing the highs.
Does everybody see how NVIDIA is pressing the highs right there? That's telling NVIDIA is trying to move past its Monday's high, which throws it into a buy. And if you look at Palantir, which is below its 3-day high, it's having a corrective week back up. Put Palantir in there since we're on the slide, showing what I'm talking about.
All right, I'll first mark the 3-day range on Palantir to give you some reference points. We're right in the middle, basically, of the first 3 days of August. So now I'm going to take those lines away and draw new lines at Monday's high. and Monday's low.
See how Palantir is retracing, even though it's not one that you want to go sink money in because it's below its 179 level. Correcting. It's correcting. And that's an example. You can put QQQ in there if you want to, a daily.
QQQ daily. Let me mark the high and low from Monday again.
Yep.
There's the high. And there's the low, and I'm kind of.
So the QQQ needs to go above what, 574 area to turn really bullish?
Yeah, 574, your 55 number probably be good. 574, 55.
Yep, that's it. And so this is what you look for on a Tuesday, you know, for stocks that are ready to go. Now, TQQ, we do a lot of trading on the TQQ. Let's look at TQQ. Look at the TQQ. The TQQ, yeah, Polly, it's long term, it's fine. Look at that. Look at TQQ. It's about middle range. So if TQQ got above what, about 91? Is that right? 91?
The high from Monday, yeah, looks like about 91. It's 90.98 to be exact.
Yeah. If he got above that, I think we'd be cooking with gas. Okay. This is how using Monday's data to get you on the right side of the market. Let's go back to our slide presentation.
Number 2.
By using the reference bar approach on Tuesday, we get a jump on most traders just watching the high and low of RB3. Let's look at this morning's RB3 for the NASDAQ and E-mini.
All right, let's see. NASDAQ futures 30-minute chart. It's the high and low of RB3 is already marked with the RB frame lines.
See how it broke it on the E-mini? Or that's the NASDAQ, right?
Right, that's the NASDAQ.
Okay.
And here's the E-mini.
Again, broke RB3, hit the top, and then just corrected a little bit. That's all it's doing. Okay.
The slides. Number 3.
All right, let's just go to MTI by DTI and look at the E-mini for the day.
All right, you should be looking at the S&P futures on MTI by DTI. Let me maximize the 30-minute over here to the right. There we go.
It's bullish for today, and it was bearish. If you look where it broke down yesterday and the end of the day, now it's turned back bullish today if it stays above that white line. What does the daily look like? Look at the daily on the E-mini.
On the daily, let me convert this back to this and maximize the daily. Sitting right at that top white line right now on the daily.
Yeah. So for the month of August, we're bullish. All the numbers support it. MTI supports it, but we are undecided about where we are, but you don't want to be short. That's basically what that's saying. Big old sign should be flashing. Do not be short. Okay. That's what that's telling me.
That gray line there.
What'd you say, Jonathan?
That gray line there right above the red line I just drew. That's the month open line. You can see last week as we came down to test the month open.
Yep.
But they honored it.
Okay.
All right, back to the slides. Number 4.
Now here's an example of this, and we'll just walk you through it. I say it lends itself to premium capture on tickers that are surging on Tuesday and have options expiring on Friday. This is where you sell options. So look at GLD on a daily basis. Let's see what GLD is doing.
All right, let me switch this over to a daily chart. Here's GLD.
Question, is it higher than yesterday's high, Jonathan?
Yes, it is. I'll mark the high from yesterday.
Is it higher than a monthly high?
Not the monthly highs up here. The monthly high, the first 3 days high, if that's what you're asking, is up at 312.24. So not quite.
But if this stock this afternoon gets above that 3-day high, then you could go pick up premium at this week's low. What was this week's low? 309?
Yeah, right around the open. Yep, 309. Yep.
Yeah, so you go 309, 308. Look at what the premium they'd pay you. This is a trade I'd look at this afternoon, but 309, 308, selling the put, 309. How much would they pay me?
August 29th, 309, 308 put spread right now is paying 20 cents.
I'd take it all day long. Y'all see how you could get into this trade? And did you look at tomorrow? Because they expires twice. Did you today?
Now that was Fridays. If you're asking for tomorrow's.
No, I'd go Friday, but I was just curious. I thought you might have grabbed it. I thought it might be worth a little bit more. It must mean that gold's going to go higher because it should be priced about 25 cents right now, but they've already taken it out. Somebody's following the DTI Tom Busby approach, it looks like. They're selling that sucker. Okay. Anyway, I wanted to show that. Y'all see what I'm doing? I'm giving you the steps why Tuesdays are important, and I'm showing you how to apply it to make money. Does this make a lot of sense to you, what I'm showing you today? You know, I have a lot of strategies, but the strategies were built in times that I'm looking to try to figure out how to make money. Okay, let's go back to our slides.
Okay, slide number, or reason number 5.
Here's this right here is why I like to enter new positions on Tuesday. You're not buried by what happened last night. You're not buried what happened yesterday. You've got the trend shaping up for the week. I think this is the most important lesson of all. How many people come in from last week to this week buried on an option position and you got your knee on the ground praying, I'm telling you, for relief? I've done it many times. Using this approach, using Tuesday as your trade day, hey, you're happy as a lark. That is the beauty of these 5 steps. I think it's a good lesson today. I think Trade and Train's got some good stuff in it. Good stuff.
Yep, it really does. It's exactly what you envisioned it being.
Yep, it's growing too.
Yep.
We're going to do it in September.
Yeah, we are live on YouTube, by the way. I'm not sure if this has been said, but if you go to dtitrader.com/YouTube, let me type the link in to the chat.
Is Chuck here today?
Yeah, he's here, but you might be. Yep, he's here. You're probably tuning in on Zoom, but you can also tune in on YouTube, and YouTube's important to know how to get to find the recordings of these train and trade sessions.
Yeah, Tom, I'm here. I'm just listening. You have been on a roll this morning, and I am just appreciative to be here to be able to hear it.
Thank you, Chuck. Well, you should have seen what we did in SPX this morning. I think people are so glad they joined me because they saw the detail that they're going to learn. All I got to do, Chuck, is get everybody. If I get everybody 70%, game over on anybody else. If I get everybody 70%, we will be going, we'll call it the Fort Knox of trading at SPX. That's the potential there, but we got to get everybody at 70% accurate. That's for sure. and discipline to take the losses when they occur. Okay. All right. That's the last 5. What's next, Jonathan?
Few slides on your one ticket
Are we
payout.
going to stream this, or I need to go through the overview?
I think Adam's only got about 15 slides for the overview for you, and then we'll stream one afterwards.
Yeah. Now, Jonathan, what do you think about this program?
This program here kind of snuck up on us in the fact that we looked at it one day and you had made 20 straight winners in a row. And it's probably more than that now, but I remember you asked me to look at the record, and I know you trade with high accuracy, Tom, but I was surprised you would not fired off 20 in a row. So one ticker is a great,
Off the
great
charts,
program.
isn't it?
It is. Yep.
Yeah, it surprised me when you told me that. And I focused on one ticker, and the ticker is the QQQ. Now, we're going to open it up, bring some new people in here. And, it's a way to pick up money. The thing I like about this program, you can trade it just about any day. You're not limited when you get the setup. And we've got it down to an art form, you might say, teaching the art of trading. Two clicks on one ticker. That simplifies the world, doesn't it? So when the QQQ is paying, we're usually there with the one ticker. We'll monitor it for you, show you where to get in, where to get out. We're going to knock it out. You know what I mean? Knock it out. These are high probability trades, as he just stated. We're hitting pretty high on this thing, and we'll alert you immediately when to get in, when to get out. Pretty simple, straightforward. That's what we try to do. So email alerts. So we send out Telegram alerts, email alerts, and text alerts. Well, you can't miss this if one sets up. Give me some feedback, people. Do you like the way we have a three-prong attack getting information to you when this thing sets up? Tell me if you like the ability to be out roaming and all of a sudden get alerted. Yep, it's a good one. Now, if you like accuracy and you like money, there's a match here. We got high accuracy and a lot of money. All these trades were issued in our payout program. I never leave you hanging with the trades we do. We'd think of doing that. You don't have to be around a computer. We usually do it the last 30 minutes of the day, and you should be good. That's when this window opens. Most people are going home when I find these trades. Then back to whatever you're doing. Now, this was an old data, 81%. I bet if they update that, it'd be closer to 85 to 90. Average win is probably higher, and the average winner is higher. I believe. We have to check to see if that's true.
Well, Tom, it is higher accuracy. It's 84% accuracy. So there you go.
84% higher. Now, this is a good way to build an account. If you're trying to grow your account, you got high accuracy, low risk, and the options that we choose are usually less than $100. That's how you can start with a small account and grow it to a big one. That's why I like low price options like this. We have a special training that's included to get you up to speed. options for rookies. So if you had a small account, can't do day trades, this thing's ideal for you. Ideal. It's all free, the training. We don't charge that $4.97, we give it to you. So what else we got going on? The power of the QQQ. The one ticker payout program might be pushing one of the best records I got. Okay. If you join, oh man, they did it again. Look what they did. They let everybody take a trial for 1 month for $97. Goodness gracious. $97 access. Wow. And they get the option course too. That's $4.97 right there. Jonathan, if anybody's here not a member, they ought to be a member after today. That's pretty strong.
Yep.
I like the sign up too, dtitrader.com/1. You always want to be number one in life. You can be number one if you sign up for this. We're only taking 100 people though, 100 people. Now, if you're going to try this, let me know. And I'd say about Thursday, we ought to have a great one ticker to kick it off. I would do, Rob, I'd do about 10 contracts. About 10 contracts is what I would do. All right, so get joined. And for those that want more details, I think Adam's going to stream it. I got you, JC. You'll get there. Here's old Dinosaur Skip. Dinosaur Skip, where are you from? Boise, Idaho. Okay. Jonathan, I tell you what, let's have a great day. We've already with some great training. I think people have to be happy, and we just got to go find us an opportunity in this market with the programs and strategies that we have. Again, NVIDIA earnings tomorrow. Okay, so take it away.
Performance shown are not typical. We make no future earnings claims. You may lose money. It's a part of the gig. The majority of the trades expressed are from historical backtested data in order to demonstrate the potential of the system. The average backtested return per weekend, winners and losers included, was 10.9% per overnight trade, and the average winner was $1,312 per trade based on a $5,000 investment. Now, every example we're going to show you here today is based on that same starting investment of $5,000, unless we state otherwise. Now, the historic success rate is 84.3%. We cannot guarantee any specific future results, like I mentioned, but of course, there's always a high degree of risk involved in trading. You can see more on our terms on the DTI homepage for more information. Now, if we haven't met before, hello everyone. My name is Sarah Sananen. Now, please pay very close attention today. Now, as you guys saw on the opening slide, thanks to a little known move by one exchange operator, a door has been opened for us to collect overnight payouts on one specific ticker. And no, I'm not talking about earning pennies on the dollars here. I'm talking about one ticker that has shown the power to take even a small 5K investment and pay out the likes of $1,093, $1,351, and even $2,096, all overnight. Now, of course, I know, and you know, that no strategy wins all the time. There's no such thing as a magic pill. If you find one, let me know. But it cannot generate instant income. But according to my special guest here, the trading legend, Tom Busby, the man who in 1992 was one of only 50 professionals to be handpicked by the CME to receive his very own Globex terminal. Now, to be honest with you guys, I have no idea what that is. I wasn't even born.
What it was the forerunner to electronic trading. And there were 50 of it out of Chicago that actually they gave out to people. And I was very fortunate to get one that's got me into the 24-hour market. So it was pretty neat honor to have one. So, and quite an advantage also, I might add.
Sounds like it. Now, then you went on to play a key role in a firm managed so successfully that it got bought out by the 1.3 trillion bank Morgan Stanley. Now, these overnight payouts from this one ticker we're talking about has shown an incredible 84.3% accuracy on nearly a full year's worth of market data. And to give you a better idea, that's better than winning 4 out of 5 trades, right? And now that he's fine-tuned his strategy, sorry, my dog wants to be a part of the presentation. His strategy with this one ticker, he's been on a mission unlike anything he's ever done before. It's a brand new nationwide initiative he's called the One Ticker Payout Program. It's pretty straightforward, right? Now, his goals are simple, and he's aiming to bring on 100 new people, so it could be 100 of you guys. Now, we have more than 100 people here, so pay very close attention, like I mentioned. And he's going to show you how to use this one ticker to target an extra 1,000 or more overnight, over and over again. Right here, we have November, it's like the credits at the end of a movie. So if you are looking for a way to maybe help generate some extra cash to cover some everyday expenses, or you just want, a little bit more to add to that retirement fund, then the One Ticker Payout Program may be the right fit for you.
That's right, Sarah. Today, we want to simplify the investment process. I want to take a group of regular folks, whether you've been professionally trading since the 80s like I have, or just getting started, old or new, and show you how straightforward it can be to target these one ticker payouts day after day. You see, most people think you need to follow a handful of stocks, monitor their every move, but I'm here to tell you that you're far better off throwing away 2,384 to 2,385 tickers out there and focusing on that one and only ticker. Knowing if everything goes as planned, the single ticker is shown the power to pay out $1,000 or more overnight. Just like you could have seen last October. Like someone put 5,000 up, that's the amount we're referring to in every example today. Now think about this. Keep in mind that October is one of the worst months for the stock market. If you left your money in the popular indexes, well, it wouldn't have looked very pretty. However, look at that. That's how much you would have lost if you just sort of scattered the way Wall Street wants you to. However, the same investment stake in the one ticker payout program could have seen a much different result. Hitting 5 separate overnight payouts for the month of October, $958, $823, $2,096, $1,351, and $1,283. It's consistent and it works because it takes a process in place that makes it take advantage of the market. Now, to be clear, there's one in there that wouldn't have worked out. But if you'd follow along with the one ticker payout program, you could have gone 5 for 6 and walked away with an extra $4,371 in your pocket for the month.
Now, Tom, I don't know about you, but an extra $4,300 coming in the door sounds pretty great to me. I mean, I like money, to put it quite plainly. That's a meaningful chunk of change. I mean, think about it. It seems like every month credit card balances keep hitting new highs, right? Leaving a lot of people without enough money to cover simple 500 emergency expenses, right? But if they were following these overnight trades with the one ticker payout program, they could have made enough to stash $3,000 into that emergency fund, right? Book a round of golf for you and 3 of your best friends at a local course, cover the dinner tab for once, when you go out with your friends, and still have a few $100 left over in the slush fund. Now, keep in mind, for those of you watching, that could have happened while most folks invest in the stock market back in October were watching their portfolios drop in value. So, Tom, what is this one ticker, and how could those of us tuning in today help target overnight payouts worth that $1,000 or more that you're talking about?
Sarah, first let me say this. It's absolutely horrible what happened to our great nation. Thanks to inflation, we're watched as our retirement account savings have gone backward in recent years. Expenses kept going up, forcing millions of people to delay their retirements 5, 10, or even 15 years. It gets worse. You see, most people think that once inflation cools and the cost of living comes down and life returns back to normal. But what a lot of folks don't realize that it's not how inflation works. Think about it. You remember when the price of a cheeseburger was 65 cents? That shouldn't shock anyone, but you will never see that price again. That's because with inflation, prices only go up. So even when the rate of inflation comes back down to the cost of living, things don't get cheaper. The cheeseburger doesn't come back to 65 cents. Prices normalize at that new higher cost. So even when inflation stabilizes, you still need more money in the piggy bank to cover the new normalized cost of living. And that's why it's so critical for us to meet today and talk about it. I want to do everything I possibly can to help as many people as possible generate some extra cash on the side. Now, most people I work with think that making money has to be complicated or time consuming, that you have to wait years to get a payout. But the truth is, it takes a few minutes of your time to learn this process to put the one ticker payout program into action. And by following along, I've been able to show dozens of folks the exact method targeting an extra $1,000 or more overnight from this ticker. I call the method behind the one ticker payout program the 2-click trade. That's because just after 2 clicks, you can set yourself up to target the next $1,000 overnight payout from this one ticker. For example, let's take a look at what happened the very next month in November after a great October. Now, I have to admit, unlike October, in November, the stock market was red hot. S&P 500, bonds, gold, Bitcoin, everything was headed high. And the rally was fueled by top stocks like Apple and Microsoft, both of which gained around 10% for the month. 5,000 invested of those would have yielded about $580 for the month. But if you'd used the 2-click trade, the one with the special ticker I'm talking about, you could have done so much better. And again, after hitting 5 major payouts for the month of November, 1,093, 1111, 1780, 1179, and 1271, compare that to the 500, you see where we're going. Similar to October, there was one trade that wouldn't have worked out in our favor, but all in all, you would have scored an overnight payout of 5 out of the 6 opportunities and walked away with an extra $2,130 in cash for the month of November. Starts adding up.
Yeah, right. And
Right.
That means that the 2-click trade would have earned folks 4 times what top stocks like Apple or Amazon did. Now, 580 or 2130 for the month, which would you guys prefer? Go ahead and put that in the chat, even though the answer is obvious. Now, what some folks may have missed is that your 2-click trade seemed to work on this one ticker regardless if the markets were heading lower in October or if the markets were hot like in November. Either way, folks could have locked in roughly $3,000 in payouts for each month. Is that right?
That's right. It's binary. It doesn't matter what the market does. You can set it up to make money whether it goes up or goes down. And that's right on par with the results we've seen so far with the data. In fact, since the inception of our study, the one ticker payout program has shown the power to pay out an average of $3,000 each month, including all the wins and all the losses. And that's the power of these overnight payouts, stacking up one trade at a time. And there's a reason I chose to focus on just one ticker and one ticker only. You see, there are 2 common beliefs among some of the top money managers when it comes to investing. There's one who say that you should diversify into a basket of stocks, helping lowering the risk on your portfolio. I know y'all have heard that. Then there's On the other end of the spectrum, guys like Buffett, who call owning a basket of stocks not good, saying holding 10, 20 or more stocks actually hurts your portfolio because you're not able to keep detailed tabs on all of them at once. And then that you should instead only focus on one ticker at a time. But I must beg the question, what if you get the best of both worlds at the same time? Sounds good, doesn't it?
Yeah, get my apple and eat it too.
That's right. What if you were to get the stability of diversification while at the same time getting the explosive upside of a single stock picking simultaneously? Well, that's exactly what this one ticker allows you to do. It bottles up all the firepower of the top stocks like the Apples, the Amazons, the Microsofts, while evenly spreading out the risk over time. You don't need to worry about earnings, hits or misses, CEO getting fired, or negative headlines. And with the two-click trade, we're now able to target overnight earnings from this one ticker. Well, the stock market is closed, but most folks aren't earning a dime. Like in May, one of the best months so far from the data. Here's what the S&P looked like back then. 0.25% gain for the month. Your returns wouldn't have kept up with inflation. But with the two-click trade on this one ticker, it could have been like night and day, going 5 for 5 with the one ticker payout program. 1,846, that ought to get your attention. How about another 882? 714, $2,089, $1,118. That adds up.
It does indeed. So Tom, what you're saying is while the S&P 500 only gained a measly quarter in May, folks following along with the two-click trade that you're talking about could have made more or doubled their initial investment. That's 133 earning in the same time frame. Now with the two-click trade, you could have collected 6,650 for the month of May if you added everything up. And that's enough to nearly pay off the average credit card balance if you have one without needing to pick up an extra job or to work the night shift. And all of it would have taken about 15 minutes in total time. And it seems like an excellent trade-off for me, especially without having to spend extra time. So Tom, why don't you tell us what is this special ticker?
I'll give you the exact ticker and all the details behind the two-click trade in a few minutes, but hang in there. Of course, I want to remind you that no strategy wins all the time, and you should never risk more than you can afford to lose. Luckily, the average cost per trade with the one ticker program is less than $100, and that's how I designed it. So it doesn't matter if you consider yourself rich or poor, anyone here today can get started. The ticker is the most basic way for anyone with a regular brokerage account to invest in some of the most high-powered stocks in the world at the same time. Getting a taste of Apple, Microsoft, and many, many more. All at the same time. That's why this ticker has been able not just to beat, but absolutely demolish the returns of all major indexes. In fact, over the last 20 years, Dow Jones has returned 349%. The Dow Jones has returned 349. The Russell has returned 397, and S&P's returned 450. Yet this one ticker has done more than the return of all three combined. If you haven't guessed it yet, the ticker is QQQ. QQQ gives us access to the NASDAQ 100, which shows a diversified basket of some of the most explosive stocks in the world, like Apple, Tesla, and so forth. But there's something really unique about this ticker that allows us to target $1,000 or more from each trade, specifically overnight. Most people have no clue what to do with this, but you don't actually own the ticker during the day. Let me show you what I mean. Take a close look at this chart. The returns on the QQQ from 1999 to 2023. What you're looking at is the return of only owning the QQQ during the day. But buying at the market open and selling at the close versus if you'd bought at 4 p.m. and sold the following morning, 539%, only holding it overnight. And as you can clearly see, all the money in this one ticker has been made in the overnight hours as the world opens up and trades. In fact, investing during the day would have actually lost you money. And it's little known occurrence in the QQQ that allow us to target overnight payouts over and over again. All you need to do is set the 2-click trade as close to 4 p.m. closing bell as possible, and then exit the trade the next morning when the stock market opens up again. Just like the first 3 that hit in March. Here's a look at the chart of the QQQ. And here's a look at the overnight one ticker payouts you could have just hit in the first week using the 2-click trade. 1139, March 3rd, 1329 on March 6th, 1370 on March the 7th.
That's remarkable, Tom. I mean, in 1 week, we could have earned an extra $3,800 in payouts. Now, where I live, the average mortgage payment sits around $1,500 each month or so. That means, well, yeah, that means just after 1 week, I was trying to do the math in my head real quick. With the one ticker payout program, folks could have paid 2 months on the average mortgage in advance and still had $839 left over to be, if we're being exact with the numbers. Now, I can only imagine not having to worry about mortgage payments for 3 more months, and that would definitely be a stress reliever on me.
Sarah, that's why I got excited to meet with you today to talk about this with other people, because I want you to be on the front lines trying to help solve this unspoken financial crisis in America. We're going to generate money, and I believe that the 2-click trade behind the one ticker payout program could be the key to helping folks gain a leg up, even in a bad economy. It's all done by just focusing on one ticker and only one. You just have to set your trade right before the market's closed for the day, and if it all works out, cash out the next morning. Just like with the next 3 payouts that hit in March. March 10th, $1,000. March 16th, 1506. March 20th, 348.
That's really something. And I see Zoom users saying, well, not in California. Maybe it can help you pay a little bit of it. Now, if someone could have done that, they could have just seen 2,800 in payouts just after 3 trades. And you're not helping just help with the retirement crisis in America. You're helping cure the everyday stress, because a little bit of money, extra money, we can all use some, right? I haven't met someone who says, I don't want extra money. I haven't met anyone like that.
I heard on TV, one thing that's very unique to Americans, they keep spending.
I'm one of them.
Yeah. Whether you're young or old.
Exactly. Now, I'm starting to see how this could legitimately make an actual impact for anyone who takes part in the one ticker payout program starting today. So let me make sure I have this straight. I like to make sure I have my facts before I go all in. Owning the QQQ during the day is no good. It's basically a coin flip if you'll make money or not. But buying the close and selling the open has been the hidden gold mine on this one ticker for decades, right? Now,
Absolutely.
Tom, that leaves me wondering, if it's been this way for years, why isn't everyone already doing this?
Well, frankly, if you want to take advantage of this overnight occurrence on the underlying stock, you can. But the results would be about 1/20th the size of what I've been showing you today. For most people, that's just not worth their time. And that's why no one has probably heard about this before. But the Chicago Board of Options Exchange made a small tweak on the QQQ, which opened the doors to these one ticker payouts over and over again. Let me explain. In order to see the type of results from a 2-click trade, you have to use options, but not just any form of options. You see, most tickers out there have options that expire on Friday of each week. They're called weekly options. Now, the QQQ only had weekly options, and the 2-click trade wouldn't even work. But luckily, as late of last year, QQQ is now one of only 4 tickers in the world which we call daily options. And you might have guessed these options expire every single day of the week. It's these daily options that have opened the door for these overnight payouts I've been showing people. You just have to place the 2-click trade as close to the end of the day as possible, knowing that QQQ has a good chance of going higher and handing us the next overnight payout. Like the next few one-ticker payouts you could have seen in March, 1133 overnight, 2419 overnight, 1250 overnight, 1484 overnight. Are y'all starting to get the pattern here, folks?
Yeah.
And today I want to show you how to set up your first one-tick or 2-click trade. All you need to get started is a standard brokerage account, nothing fancy. It's even 401k and IRA friendly, at least $500 to start with. That's less than 100 for the average entry. 2 minutes maximum each day. After a few trades, it'd be easy as cake. I don't know, eating cake or making cake. And that's it.
I will say eating cake's much easier than making it.
Yeah. That's why I've been holding a very special live class to show exactly how you can start targeting these consistent payouts with the QQQ. It included full details, how to place your first trade, how to upgrade your account for these options, and how to manage your risk so you can start using this technique in your account today. Let me invite folks out there to join me for free today. Once you get your hands on this, you'll be fully equipped to put the 2-click trade in action, target the next overnight payout worth $1,000 or more this very week. Just like with the next 3 payouts you could have seen on April 4th, $1,834, $1,097, $1,267. Now, you may notice that I don't trade this every day. Here's the secret. That's because I only find a way to enter on the highest probability days, the ones that are most likely to pay out. That's what you're paying for. Normally, we get about 1 or 2 of those opportunities each week.
And Tom, by looking at the live trade alert results from your one-ticker payout program, it looks like the results are off the chart, right? You have an 81.8 accuracy rate, and that's better than 8 out of 10 trades. Now you have 18.4% average winner across about 50 or more live trade alerts. And then you have $920 average winning payout. Even though we've seen 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 900's been about the average, right? And that's all overnight based on a 5,000 initial investment.
Right.
Now that's not even the best part from what I've heard. The one-ticker payout program has shown the power to pay out an average of 3,000 each month for anyone who's been following along.
It's pretty extraordinary, really.
Yeah.
I think. And Sarah, to test the effectiveness of this one-ticker payout program, we've been sharing this with some of the opportunities with some of our top students. Here's what they had to say. This is the real test when you hear this. Convey my thanks to Tom for this morning's great trade on QQQ. Total profit of $525. Great end of week in the green. Nancy said last Friday made 1606 net gain. Had a lot of fun live trading. Or Denise, $400 profit. Started with 2,000, not bad. She's got a small account, that's okay. These are not day trades, these are overnight trades. Look at Eddie, 100% success rate on 4 trades, 100% return on recycled money in a week. Now I want to hear more from you next, but you got to take the opportunity. That's why I want to grant you access to this live workshop so you can start implementing the unique 2-click trade in your own account. Lock in your spot, and by subscribing to our nationwide initiative, the one-ticker payout program, Now, we're hoping to bring in about 100 new people and show them how straightforward it can be to target an extra $1,000 or more overnight. All by leveraging the 2-click trade on this one ticker. Now, if you're one of the few to get in on it today, you're not going to be left out finding these opportunities all by yourself. Each day the market's open, I'll be monitoring the QQQ for you. And if I see an opportunity for the high probability one ticker payout, I'll alert you immediately. You'll get an email notification, text message, and telegram. Inside, you'll see the exact details on how to place the 2-click trade before the market's closed for the day. If it works out as planned, we can wake up to a great overnight payday for the QQQ like you could have seen many times throughout the year. Hey, 723 on June 13th, 1,049 on September the 21st, 1,780 on November the 20th. And I never leave you hanging. Never do that. I'll let you know the optimum time to exit.
And Tom, correct me if I'm wrong, but since we always place the trade just before the market closes, it's not like we have to be around watching the computers all day. I've day traded. I know what it's like to sit on the computer all day. It's not fun, especially when the market's going sideways. They check in sometime the last 30 minutes of the day, and then you should be good. Now, if there's a new one ticker payout opportunity, you could just copy and paste the trade if you'd like, and then go back to your life. Is that right?
That's absolutely correct. And expect 1 to 2 alerts each week on average from the same strategy that I've showed that's had these kind of payouts. 81% accuracy, that's 4 out of 5 or better. 18.4% average winner, a $920 average payout based on that 5,000 initial starting investment. That's huge, folks. And remember, folks, if you're starting with a smaller account, that's totally fine, just like the Denise. You need less than $100 to take the average trade. And you can always start smaller and grow your account over time after you learn the process. Now, if you're new to options, don't worry. I've instructed many people over my career how to trade options the correct way, and that's why we have a special training package to help you get started. I'll teach you all the way from rookie level to pro level in no time. Options for rookies. This course will teach you everything from level 1 options all the way up to level 3. And while the publisher would prefer to sell this for thousands of dollars on the side, the special deal includes, you get it included in your membership today. That course is great, by the way. It took me about 7 months to put it together. And just where you'll know, I've charged $497 for that course separately in the past. And that's not all I have up my sleeve for you today. Power of the QQQ. Over the first year of being a member of the one ticker payout program, I also fill in on some additional ways to target extra cash from the QQQ. The power of the QQQ. I'll spill the beans on some of my best kept secrets so you can go after even more trades in this one ticker if you'd like to.
Tom, it seems like you're really going above and beyond to give everyone everything they need to get started. Now, also, we see a ton of questions in the chat, fantastic questions. We'll get to those towards the end once we're done. Now, I know that some of the top programs that you sell typically go as much as $5,000, and the one ticker payout program seems like it would be worth even more. So tell me, spill the beans on the price at least. How much is it going to run, folks? The 7,500?
No, not going to be 7,500, not even half that amount.
Oh.
Today, we put together a very special deal for the new members who join me on the one ticker payout program. Like I mentioned before, so far from the study, the 2-click trade could have helped anyone collect an average of $3,000 per month in payouts. So I was originally planning on doing a one ticker payout program scholarship. I'm going to charge $3,000 for the first year's subscription with the goal of helping you pay it off in the first month. That's what I was going to do. But then I got to thinking, I knew even I could do better. You see, I don't want this to be another bill you have on your plate to pay for year after year. So instead of having to pay for a full year's access as the base membership, we'll skip that step, automatically upgrade today's new members to lifetime. Wow. That means once you join the one ticker payout program today, you'll never have to pay any subscription fees or renewals after. You get 2-click trades sent to you on a silver platter for years and years to come. But not just that. Look at our last 18 trades since October. We haven't lost any of our live trade alerts, going 18 for 18. Now, I don't know about you, that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And to celebrate, I'm giving new members a celebration discount of $500 off, meaning not only will you upgrade your membership to VIP Lifetime, you'll also be getting an extra $500 off the Lifetime VIP price today. Now, of course, I can never promise future gains or protect against losses, but I want you to be totally satisfied with this subscription. I want you to follow along with the one ticker payout for the next year. Take the trade to real money or just paper trade them. Totally up to you. If after your first 14 days of use, you decide the gains just ain't up to what you thought they'd be, or the education we do isn't what you were looking for, no worries. Call our team, we'll fund every penny of your membership cost. Wow. And I want today's decision to be a complete no-brainer for you. Remember, I'm hoping to bring in 100 new folks under this program. And if you're one of them, the lifetime deal won't run you to $3,049 per year. It won't be the $24.97 for the lifetime access. Only $19.97 for a one-time payment for VIP lifetime access. Wow.
Yeah.
But with our celebration discount, it takes it down to $14.97 one time. Now it's a no-brainer.
One and done, less than $1,500.
Wow.
Yeah.
If you want to secure your spot at these prices, do it now. Click the link in the chat. They've got it in there. Go to dtitrader.com/lifetime or call 904-706-3532.
All right, folks, I'm going to throw up the slide that was offered today before we started streaming. That was a stream from Tom from several weeks back, but during train and trade today, Tom talked through the offer for today, which is a 30-day access for $97. The link to get there is dtitrader.com/one. And let me find the link. I'll post it again in the chat. We're about to close down the session, but you can go to dtitrader.com/one to take Tom up on this offer for $97 for 30 days. You can also call us at 904-706-3532. Thanks for being here this morning. We'll be live again tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. for Train and Trade. Tomorrow after the close is NVIDIA earnings that everything's looking forward to. And then tomorrow night, be sure to tune in to Tom's midweek market update at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So once again, you can test drive one ticker payouts with Tom for $97 for 30 days. dtitrader.com/one. Give us a call at 904-706-3532 and be there tomorrow morning when we're live again at 11 a.m.